All right, what's up everyone? Welcome to our June semester of Personal Finance. We'll be taking this class from June 11th to July 6th. And this video that you're watching is to orient you as to how the class is going to work and to talk you through the syllabus. I'm Professor Rausch, and the first thing I'm going to do is, just like I would in any other face-to-face class, is kind of do some get to know you slides so you can learn a little bit about me, and then we'll talk about the syllabus and how you can complete this course. So there's me. I make a joke whenever I show this picture that whenever you get a PhD, you have to take a fancy picture in front of a bookshelf, and so this was a fancy looking bookshelf. I thought that made me look particularly nerdy. I studied math and econ at a small school in Kentucky called Center College. We had about 1,200 kids there. It was kind of like doing high school all over again. And then I went to a huge university, the University of Tennessee. That's where I received my PhD. When I'm not teaching, I'm studying environmental economics or behavioral and experimental economics. That's pretty boring, so let's get to the more interesting stuff. I like sports. Since moving to Georgia, I've kind of adopted the pro sports teams here, so I follow Atlanta United and the Falcons and the Braves and the Hawks. But I also watch the Premier League, and so I follow Tottenham Hotspur. And of course, being a graduate of the University of Tennessee, I like all things volunteer. When I'm not working, I'm doing CrossFit. I'm mountain biking now. It's a new hobby. We'll see how that goes. Or I'm spending time with my kid Carson. So this is Carson here in the first Tennessee game we took him to. And this is me doing a horrible attempt at a pull-up. So this is the family. My wife Kim also works at GCSU. Some of you may have had her. If you're majoring in marketing, you probably will have her. She teaches social media and advertising. And this again is Carson. We take him to all these things, and we're not really sure if he enjoys them yet, but he was definitely ready to leave the zoo in that picture there. Last member of our family is Millie. She's our Yorkshire Terrier. She, despite her size, is quite destructive. So, more directly related to this class, how about me as an instructor? I pulled in some quotes from some teaching evaluations from this class, and I thought they might be useful for you to see, to think about what this class is going to be like. So, student says, "Please don't lecture after class." Noted, student. That won't be a problem here because it's an online class, and so we're not even in a face-to-face setting. But otherwise, great course. The workshop after lectures are a great structure for the class. So this class is a workshop-oriented class. Every day is focused around one personal finance workshop where you will be practicing your own finances. So what does that mean? Well, we won't just learn about retirement and do some homework. We will learn about retirement, and then you will actually figure out how much you need to save for your own retirement. So it's kind of cool, like a cool setup like that. There's a manageable amount of homework, good. The tests can be difficult but fair, and I think this statement is fair, and I think the only reason why the tests are difficult is because every one of them has one problem that is critical thinking. So I set you up in some sort of personal finance environment, and you have to tell me what you would do, and that can be a little bit challenging. Otherwise, I think this class should be called Adulting 101 because it's everything you need to be able to do to graduate and understand personal finance. That is true. Even though I am an economist, when I started teaching this class about 3 years ago, I too even learned a lot about all the mistakes I had made. Another quote, "I love this class. Thank you, student. It was not required, but I chose to take it anyway. It helped pique my interest in wealth management." And so that might happen for you in that you might be really enjoying the material we're covering. There is a career in wealth management and financial advising where you would do this daily. And so if you are interested in something along those lines as you're going through this course, reach out to me. I've got some contacts. We can see if we can get you an internship. P. Rausch made the subjects interesting and did a great job with applying concepts. You are going to do a lot of application in this class through those workshops where you'll be doing your own personal finances. I'll have you pick out a car and figure out how to buy it. I'll have you identify the type of housing you'll need and figure out how to finance it. So it'll be a really application-based sort of class. All right. So enough with the introductions. Let's look at some of the material. So the first thing I want you to do is log in to Georgia View. So you can get there through going through Unify and logging into Georgia View. And you'll see if you're in the finance section, this is your course. If you're in the econ, you'll see both of these. And the reason why you'll see both of these is because I've taken everyone out of econ and I've piled us all into this section. So regardless of what you see, every day you log in, you need to click on this W01 section of personal finance. That's going to open up our course. What I'd like you to do once you get there, and let me show you what you'll be looking at. You'll see, when you finally open this up, you'll see an orientation module and module 1. I'll explain what all those mean, but the first thing you need to do is go into orientation module, open up the course schedule, and download these two files here, the syllabus and the summer course schedule. That's what I'm going to be talking about for the rest of this orientation module. So, let me back up to the home page, and I will pull up the syllabus. Alright, I am Professor Rausch. I have an office, but this is an online class, so you won't find me there. I have a Twitter. I rarely use it, but follow me if you like. Office hours, I will talk about that shortly. But here we go. You don't need to know anything to come into this course. Just be a person. You will need a textbook, PFIN 6. The student edition with online access. You can go pull this ISBN down off the bookstore. They have several purchasing options at the bookstore, but the important thing is don't just go buy any personal finance textbook by Billingsley, Gitman, and Junk. You must have online access. We're going to use the companion website for reading and study materials. The other thing that you'll need is a BA2 Plus calculator. So awkwardly, I'm going to drag myself on the screen here. How's it going? This is a bird shirt. Winston from New Girl would be proud. If you don't watch New Girl, you don't get that joke. This is a BA2 Plus. The important thing on this calculator is that it has time value and money keys, which might not be so clear. But future value, present value, payment, interest rate, and number of periods. I'm going to be teaching the class with these buttons. If you have another calculator that can do time value money, knock yourself out. But I won't be teaching using that calculator. So if you want to be sure to learn time value money the way I'm teaching it, go and get this calculator. It's probably like $12, maybe $15, so it's not an expensive calculator. It's pretty handy. I use it even when I'm not doing finance. The textbook looks like this. PFIN 6, Billingsley, Gitman, and Joink. There is a much fatter version of this book that is much more expensive. This is the concise version, much cheaper, and it does the trick. Okay, see ya. You can read the course description and the course outcomes, but basically you are going to be practicing personal finance. So buckle up. We're going to administer this course on Georgia View, and I'm going to be assigning documents via Microsoft Word and Adobe Acrobat, so in PDF. So you need to make sure that your operating system works with Georgia View, with YouTube, and Microsoft Office, Excel, PowerPoint, and Adobe Acrobat. If you can't open those Microsoft applications, you need to get to a computer that does. So basically what I'm saying is not being able to open a file is not an excuse. You can go to our school computers, you can go to library computers, you can borrow a friend's computer, or you'll have to unfortunately purchase the software. So this is a blend of self-paced learning and group-paced activities. A lot of students want to know if online classes they can just do it all in 1 week and be done. There's some flexibility built in that I'll talk about where you can like miss a day if you have to, but there is some rigidity in that we're going to be moving together a little bit. So I'll discuss a lot more in the course structure section. But you'll have 2 places that you need to work on in each day. And that's D2L, which is Georgia View, and 4-letter press online, which comes with your textbook. And so once you buy your textbook, or even before then, you'll access this link here, which will take you to our course page. You can register for 4 days for free, which will let you do basically a whole week of this course without having to pay. But then you must pay to continue completing assignments. So if you're on the fence about keeping this course or not, you might want to try the free option for a little while. That's our course link. Of course, you all are probably familiar with Georgia View and how to work through it. On these two platforms, I understand this is an online course and technical issues happen. Here's how we're going to handle this. If you need technical assistance on Georgia View, the first thing you do is contact Ideas. They have answers for literally every question you could have. In order to receive any consideration regarding anything that you think is messed up, you have to contact them within 30 minutes of the issue and contact me within 30 minutes of the issue. If you don't do both of those things, I'm not going to give you consideration on a missed assignment. I can see when you've logged into Georgia View. I know when you've been on, and that's how I can monitor these two things. They can also monitor what you've been doing on Georgia View and if you've been on. I want to note now that low or no internet connection is not a technical issue. So you need to make sure that you have strong internet access. If you're worried about your internet at home, don't use Wi-Fi, plug it straight into your computer if you're worried about the wireless. Or don't do this at a coffee shop. Make sure you have a strong internet connection while you're working on this course. If you don't know how to use Georgia View yet, there are student tutorials which you can find in the help section of the Georgia View website. For 4-letter press, they also monitor logins. I know which questions you've tried and looked at and how long you took to complete them, so same sort of thing. If you're having an issue, contact me immediately and contact a 4-letter by clicking the support tab on the home screen of the textbook. Alright, that's all boring. Let's get into what a day in the life of a personal finance student looks like. This class is separated into 4 modules corresponding to the 4 weeks that we're learning. So each module opens at 8 a.m. on the first day of the week and ends at 9 p.m. on the last day of the week. No Saturday and Sunday work. Hooray. In each module, there'll be readings, lectures, workshops, discussion, and homework. That'll all be clear here in a minute. You'll also have a quest at the end of the week. That's a weird name, but they're like long quizzes or short tests. They're kind of like the corgi of exams. If you're a dog person, it's kind of like, is it a long dog? Is it a short dog? Or is it a long dog? Well, it's somewhere in between. So that's going to be what's going to happen. So here we go. First, you're going to complete your orientation module, which you're doing right now. You'll notice, if you go to Georgia View, every single module has a checklist. So if you're at all confused about what needs to be due each day, you can check them off as you're doing them. So download syllabus, check. Download course schedule, you've done that. Watch introduction video, you're doing that. Go sign up for 4-letter press, take your syllabus quiz. By the way, there's a quiz over the syllabus. So you can check everything off as you're doing them to make sure you've done everything for that day. Then, once we start the class, here's what your day looks like, Monday through Thursday, every module, every week. First, you'll do some reading. That's going to be through 4-letter press, but I'll also let you know the page numbers within the module. Then, you'll view a video lecture. While you're viewing the lecture, you'll be completing a workshop that corresponds to whatever I'm talking about in the lecture. These are graded. You're going to complete each of these daily. However, my flexibility allows for you to not turn them in until 9 p.m. on Friday. Don't wait that long. Don't let the work pile up. The reason why students do poorly in this class is they let the work pile up and they can't get it all done in time. Do them on the day they're assigned. So, you've read, you've watched the lecture, you've completed the workshop and turned it in. Then you're going to go over to the discussions tab. I'll show you where all this is in a minute. Discussions are also graded. I usually posted a link to a cool personal finance article, pretty short. You're going to read it and you're going to discuss it with your classmates. You are required to post at least once a day for 3 days. That does not mean 3 posts on the last day. That means once a day for 3 days. I'm giving you 1 day to miss. You have to have your post in by 9 p.m. on that day. So Monday, you post at 8 a.m. Good. Tuesday, you post at 8:30. Good. Wednesday, you don't post. Fine. That means Thursday, you got to get your last post in by 9 p.m. I want you to demonstrate the things that you have learned in that module so far within this discussion. So don't just say, wow, that article was cool. That is not contributing. Talk about what you've learned in the class with your peers in that group. And the last thing you'll have is homework. These are 20 multiple choice questions. They're designed to help you kind of prepare for the class and get some practice with, prepare for the quest and get some practice with some of the materials that we've used. You can attempt each homework set 3 times, and I averaged the score. Notice that the due date is a little different on these. You get until midnight on Friday to have all your homeworks due. And Friday's a little bit different than the Monday through Thursday. Friday, there's no reading, there's no lecture, there's no homework, there's no new unit. All you have to do on Friday is take a quest. So my expectation is that Monday through Thursday, you complete your workshops on time. You view your lectures and you take notes on time. You do all your discussions. When you get to the homework, or when you get to the Friday, all you're doing is studying and then taking the quest sometime that evening. Okay. You should wait to complete the quest till all the materials have been finished. You should study for the quest because you're not going to have enough time to look up all the answers. And tests must be started by 8 p.m. on Friday. By 8 p.m. and 1 second, you will no longer be able to start the quest. And so you'll want to start them by 8 p.m. on Friday. All right, so let's take a look at Georgia View and see where you'll find all this stuff. All right, over here is where you'll find all the content for the course. Module 1's uploaded, and day 1, which would be Monday the 11th, is already uploaded. Again, you can go to your module checklist to see what you need to do that day. Watch the intro video to the entire unit. Read Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 the first 2 sections. Watch my lecture. Complete the workshop and submit it, and then contribute to your discussion group. You'll find links to my video right here where you can click and view the video. I'm going to try to embed them in Georgia View. If they don't work when you click on them, I'll also provide the link to where you can just go to YouTube and find the video. Everything you'll need for the workshop and lecture are down here. So you will see that when I am lecturing on a particular topic, I will provide you the PowerPoint that you can click through while we're going through it. Additionally, you will find your workshop materials here. This is the stuff that you'll need to complete so you can turn them in. Up here in the coursework tab is where you'll see the assignments, and you'll be able to turn in your workshops from each day, 1 through 4 for Module 1, 1 through 4 for Module 2. So you'll do these each day. Here is where you will also be able to find your discussions. So here, Module 1, you'll be able to, I'm an instructor, so I see all of them, but you'll be able to see your particular group and join it to make discussions, to do your discussion. So you see here's a link to an article that you will read, and then you'll talk about it with your peers in your groups. Under this tab, you'll see quizzes. This is where you'll come to take your orientation module quiz over the stuff we covered today. And all of your quests, which are not available yet. Okay. So what about 4-letter press? You got to do the homework. Well, once you get logged in, you'll see a screen that looks like this that has your classes. And you can click into our class. Here's where you can click on any chapter that we're covering to do the reading. And the assignments tab is where you'll see a calendar that will have our assignments listed. So I will come in here and I will add on the 11th reading due for whatever the reading that we need to do, and then we'll also add your homework. Your homework is not going to be due again until Friday at midnight, so it's probably not going to appear over here. It's where you'll see all your homeworks that you have to do for the week. But you'll have them organized by week of the class. Alright, everything you turn in, I'll check for plagiarism. Academic honesty is a good idea. If I catch you plagiarizing or cheating, you will fail the course. How do I grade? Well, I grade according to the normal grading scale here at Georgia College. The orientation quiz is worth 2% of your grade. It's an online course, so it's very important that you understand the rules of the game. That's why I make it worth so much. And you must get 100 on it, or I will not log any other grades for the rest of your course. So you keep trying that thing until you get 100. If you don't get it 100, I'm saying completed here, but let's see. If you don't get orientation, it must be perfect. You got to get 100, or we won't log any more grades. Your discussion forum, call that your participation grade. As long as you contribute, you'll get 10% of your course grade from that. Your workshops are going to be 24% of the course. And how I grade those is you're going to turn in 4. I'm going to check mark all 4 of them, and then I'll grade one of them for accuracy. So you're probably going to be doing some sort of mathematical activity where you're computing savings or loan payments or credits or some credit card interest, something of that nature, and I will grade it one of those for accuracy randomly. Homework average, another 24%. So we'll have several homeworks. Go back up here to your course. You'll see that I think I've already covered this. You can take them 3 times, take the average. I did not cover this. I drop your lowest scoring homework set. So if you bomb one or skip one, don't worry about it. I dropped the lowest. But you can't skip 2 of them. You can't bomb 2 of them. Okay. Your quizzes will be worth 10% of your grade each, or 40% total, and that's how we'll be grading. A note on rounding, I round every grade that goes into the computer to the 10th. So a 79.49 will be a 79.5. I've got that. I round everything that goes in the computer to the tens digit, so while I'm putting in grades, it's going to be a 79.5. Your final grade, however, is different. I consider just this digit and I round hard. So 79.4 is a 79 on your final grade. A 79.5 would round up to an 80. And so the cutoff just has to be somewhere, and that's where I pick it. I don't accept late work, so turn everything in on time, and I don't give extra credit. Okay, so course communication. I will post all announcements in Georgia View. You'll see them in your news feed every time you log in, so make sure you check them regularly. I'll try to post an overview video of what to expect for the week ahead. How will we go back and forth if you have questions? The first thing is if you have questions about material and homework, I want you to use my open door office hours. What that means, what open door means is I have set up a discussion tab in Georgia View. So you come into discussions and you will see open door office hours for module 1. If you click on it, you can start a new thread with your question, be it about homework or about the workshop or about the lecture material. post it in here for everyone to see, because a lot of people have the same questions over and over again, and we can all just kind of answer them as a community. Once you post it here, my policy is, if you've posted it by 3 p.m., I will answer it by 5 p.m. I'll answer around 5 p.m. If you don't get it in by 3, I can't guarantee that I'll see it and be able to answer it that evening. I'm also going to try to do a morning sweep where I come in the morning sometime and answer them, but I can't promise that. I can do one-on-one appointments via software called WebEx. The way that works is that I can send you a link in email. You can click on that link, and then we can video chat if you have a webcam, or we can text chat if you do not. Only email me if you have an issue outside of course material. So I will email you just for course changes and big stuff like that. If it's material based, it will go in an announcement in Georgia View. If you have, like I said, a technological issue, that's when you email me. If you have a question about Chapter 2, Question 3, or whatever, you put it in open door office hours. Okay. So netiquette. The only thing I want to highlight from this is be a good online student. What the biggest thing is, manage your time wisely. I expect you to work 20 to 25 hours per week on this course. Sometimes students will schedule vacations in the middle of online courses or have work, and unfortunately that is a constraint that you're working with and I'm not going to work around. So you have to budget the time. This equates to about 4 to 5 hours a day for 5 days of the week. It's no different than a face-to-face summer course where we would meet for 2.5 hours and then you would do work outside of the course. We have to treat it the same way. So that is my expectation. You're going to be working hard for about 4 to 5 hours a day, and that's all you should need to do for this June semester course. There's a bunch of the other university policy statements in here, the biggest of which is if you have a accommodation, get it to me by this Thursday at 5 p.m. so I know about testing accommodations. All right. One quick look to make sure that I've covered everything, which I think I have. All right. So what you have to do after this is, once again, go into the orientation module, complete the checklist, go into module 1, day 1, complete the checklist, and then we'll be off and running. All right, that's all I got.